Stars flickered as warships streaked across the void, leaving trails of plasma and fire in their wake. Worlds once vibrant with life now lay in ruin, their skies filled with smoke and ash. For centuries, alien empires had fought for power, territory, and supremacy. Each civilization believed itself superior. Yet, as the battles raged on, no one noticed the quiet rise of the smallest, most underestimated species, humans. In the Outer Rim, the Drakari Empire's fleet thundered through space, engines glowing red, cannons ready. Their admiral, Korin, stared at the holographic display, his multiple eyes narrowing. "The Terrans will not matter," he said, his voice sharp and commanding. "They are primitive. They cannot compete with the might of the galaxy's rulers." Beside him, a younger officer tilted her head. "Admiral, do you truly believe that? They have not shown any strength beyond their home planet. We should focus on the Sindari blockade instead." Korin's mandibles clicked. "Focus, yes, but never underestimate. Every species has potential. But the Terrans? They are nothing but dust to us. Let the galaxy burn first. We will deal with the insignificant later." Far below, on a world of blue and green called Earth, humans moved unaware of the galaxy's chaos. Cities hummed with life, spacecraft quietly orbited the planet, and scientists monitored distant stars. Humanity had always looked to the stars with curiosity, but never as a place of war. Their battles were on Earth. Small conflicts, mere whispers, compared to the destruction unfolding across the galaxy. Dr. Elena Morales adjusted her telescope, observing faint flashes far beyond the solar system. "Signals, strange patterns," she murmured. "Not like anything we've seen before." Her assistant, Jamal, leaned closer. "You mean alien battles?" Elena shook her head. "Perhaps. Or something worse. The readings suggest massive energy discharges. Entire star systems could be involved." End quote. "The readings suggest is not reso. The readings sigzampoloso." End quoting asked. Elena shook her head. Jamal frowned. "Do you think Earth is safe?" Elena smiled softly. "For now, but if what I think is true, things are about to change." Meanwhile, the Sindari Federation, a coalition of technologically advanced alien races, attempted one final offensive against the fractured galaxy. Starships numbering in the tens of thousands moved like waves through space, crushing planets under bombardment, destroying fleets with precision. But their strategy failed spectacularly. Betrayal and overconfidence shattered their plans. Worlds were abandoned, fleets annihilated, and even the strongest empires were left in ruins. On a distant moon, Commander Rilthar of the Xylan Collective stared at the remnants of his fleet. "How could this happen?" he whispered. "We had the numbers, the firepower." An older advisor shook his head. "The galaxy is no longer predictable. Even our greatest weapons cannot save us when trust and order are gone." The galaxy was in chaos. And yet, among the ruins, whispers began to spread. Whispers of a planet untouched by the wars. A planet called Earth. The aliens looked down upon it, amused by the small, fragile species that lived there. They called humans primitive, incapable of understanding the vastness of space, the intricacies of war. No one suspected that these humans would soon change everything. On Earth, news of strange signals reached the United Nations Space Committee. Ambassador Li Wei stood before the council, her expression serious. "We are observing patterns in deep space. Massive energy discharges. Fleets. Perhaps. The galaxy may be at war, though we do not yet know the scale." A council member scoffed. "So? We have our problems here. Why should we worry about alien wars?" Li Wei's gaze hardened. "Because the war is coming closer than we think. If we do not prepare, humanity will be caught off guard." Across the galaxy, alien observers continued their assessments. A young pilot of the Drakari fleet scanned human transmissions. "The Terrans are primitive," she reported. "Their technology barely reaches space. They are insignificant. Her commander laughed. Precisely why they will never survive against us. Let them remain small and weak. Their time will come. Later. If ever. But in that later was the unseen strength of humanity. Humans had a talent the aliens did not understand: adaptability, ingenuity, creativity. While the galaxy burned itself with predictable strategies and rigid hierarchies, humans experimented, learned, and solved problems with unexpected brilliance. Back on Earth, engineers tested a new fleet of exploration vessels designed for speed, versatility, and endurance. Unlike the massive warships of alien empires, these ships were smaller, smarter, and connected through a network of shared intelligence. They could adapt, repair, and even mimic enemy technology when necessary. Captain Aiden Cross watched the simulations. "They think we are weak," he said to his crew. "Let them. They will see soon enough that humans do not give up. We do not surrender, and we do not follow rules that limit our imagination." As preparations continued, alien fleets engaged in one of the largest battles the galaxy had ever seen. Star systems became graveyards. Suns flickered from the strain of enormous energy weapons. Entire civilizations fell. And still, Earth remained untouched. In orbit, satellites picked up unusual disturbances, tiny, precise maneuvers in space that seemed random but were remarkably coordinated. Humans called it a training exercise. To alien observers, it was meaningless, yet it hinted at something greater. Humans learning, preparing, watching, and waiting. On a distant asteroid, a survivor of the Sindari Federation whispered to a small group of refugees, "Have you heard the stories? They say a new force will rise. Not from our empires, not from the great fleets, but from a small blue planet. From Earth." The others laughed nervously. Stories, fairy tales to comfort the desperate, but the whispers spread. Across star systems, across the debris of shattered fleets, the word of humans reached ears that had long forgotten hope. The aliens dismissed it, laughed at it, but the seed of uncertainty had been planted. Meanwhile, on Earth, Captain Cross trained his crews. Humans were learning strategies alien empires had forgotten, combining instinct with technology, using unpredictability as a weapon. They built alliances quietly, gathering information about the galaxy while remaining almost invisible. Elena Morales watched the night sky from her observatory. "The galaxy is dying," she said softly. "But perhaps humanity can be its hope. Perhaps we are ready to show what it means to fight not for power, but for survival and unity." As Part 1 closes, the galaxy lies in ruins. The great empires are broken. The survivors are scattered and desperate. The powerful believe humans are insignificant. But in the shadows, small vessels from Earth quietly leave orbit, ready to explore, ready to learn, ready to act. The stage is set, and soon, the humans will arrive. Not the calm of peace, but the silence of exhaustion. Alien fleets lay shattered, planets smoldered, and civilizations that had once held dominion were now shadows of their former selves. In the midst of this chaos, humans quietly moved. Captain Aiden Cross stood on the bridge of the starship Endurance, a sleek vessel built for speed and adaptability. Around him, his crew worked with quiet efficiency. Humans had studied the galaxy from afar, learning from the mistakes of its most powerful species. Now, they were ready to step into the void. "Status report," Aiden called. Lieutenant Mira Patel tapped her console. "Scanners show multiple damaged fleets nearby, sir. The alien forces are scattered, low on energy, and disorganized. We have an opportunity to intervene." Carefully, Aiden nodded. "Good. We are not here to destroy. We are here to stabilize. Protect the survivors, restore balance where we can." Elsewhere, alien eyes were still on Earth but now with unease. Commander Koran of the Drakari Empire had lost most of his ships in the recent wars. His remaining forces were desperate, and reports of human fleets moving into contested sectors reached him like thunder in a silent night. "They are humans?" Corin growled. "I dismissed them as insignificant. Yet they move with precision, timing, and purpose. What are they planning?" His young officer tried to explain, but Corin would not listen. In his pride, he could not see that humans were different, not in technology, not in strength, but in mindset. Meanwhile, the Endurance approached a devastated system on the edge of Drakari space. The planet Valira had once been a hub of trade and culture, but now it was a cratered husk. Smoke rose from ruined cities, and small survivors scavenged among the wreckage. Mira Patel looked at the images on her display. Thousands of civilians stranded, no shelter, no medical aid. They won't survive the next solar storm without help. Aiden clenched his jaw. "Prepare landing parties. We are not just observers. We save those we can. And we show the galaxy what humans do." The landing parties deployed. Humans moved quickly, organizing evacuation shelters, distributing emergency food, and repairing power systems. Alien survivors watched in disbelief. These humans were not raiding, not plundering, not claiming territory. They were helping. A Valiran elder approached Captain Cross. His blue skin was scarred, his eyes wide with cautious hope. "Why? Why do you help us? Humans have no stake here." "One," Aiden smiled gently. "Because it is the right thing to do. You survived the wars. Now it is time for someone to stand with you. We are not here to conquer. We are here to help." Word spread quickly. Across the galaxy, survivors who had feared humans as primitive and weak began to reconsider. Reports of the human fleet's efficiency, care, and intelligence reached alien ears. The stories sounded impossible. Humans saving entire populations, repairing planets, stabilizing sectors. Not all alien leaders were pleased. Corin, humiliated by his recent losses, decided to confront this rising human influence. He ordered a strike against the Endurance, confident that their small ships would be easy prey. The human crew was ready. Using a combination of speed, clever maneuvers, and advanced sensors, they detected the incoming Drakari fleet well before it arrived. Humans did not rely solely on firepower. They relied on ingenuity. "Deploy drones in the outer sectors," Captain Cross commanded. "Use decoys and interference patterns. Force them to make mistakes." The Drakari fleet advanced, expecting an easy victory. Yet their sensors were confused by the humans' clever tactics. Missiles that should have hit instead veered harmlessly into space. Fighters chasing decoys were led into traps, where humans disabled them without destruction. Corin's rage was palpable. How can these humans? "Observation and adaptation, Admiral," his officer said cautiously. "They learn faster than any species I have seen. Humans did not aim to destroy. They disabled enemy ships with precision, sparing life wherever possible." Corin's fleet suffered losses, not from overwhelming force, but from humans' unexpected strategies. They fought like a living puzzle, using the enemy's strength against them. After the encounter, survivors from the Drakari fleet were rescued and treated by humans. They had expected death, but instead found compassion. The humans offered supplies, repairs, and even guidance on reaching safe sectors. One Drakari officer, injured but alive, asked Captain Cross, "Why spare us? We are your enemies." Aiden replied simply, "Because killing does not solve problems, helping does. You will see the galaxy is bigger than our grudges." The human reputation grew. Across star systems, alien survivors whispered stories of the species that moved like shadows through war-torn space. They were efficient, clever, and fearless. They acted not for power, but for survival and justice. Back on Earth, scientists observed the humans' progress. Dr. Elena Morales studied the reports. "They are exceeding every prediction," she said. "Their success is not just in technology. It's in creativity and cooperation. They see possibilities where others see limits. NER. Meanwhile, a coalition of smaller alien factions, tired of fighting and fearing another wave of destruction, reached out to humans. They proposed alliances, not under threat, but under trust. Humans accepted, learning from the aliens' knowledge of the galaxy while sharing their own unique strategies. Captain Cross convened a meeting with representatives from the coalition. "The galaxy is broken," he said. "We cannot fix it alone, but together, we can protect what remains and rebuild it. We must act with intelligence, courage, and fairness. That is how humanity survives and prospers." The alien leaders were hesitant. Some remembered humans as weak, fragile, and insignificant. But every encounter, every rescued planet, and every clever maneuver had changed opinions. Humans were not the species they thought they were. Then came the real test. A massive alien fleet, remnants of multiple empires, had discovered the humans' growing influence. Their leaders saw the humans as a threat not yet for their power, but for their potential to unite the galaxy. The fleet engaged in a battle near the Orion Rift, a massive nebula with unstable energy streams. The humans, vastly outnumbered, faced a daunting challenge. Aiden Cross surveyed the situation. "We are outnumbered, but we have speed, intelligence, and unity. We will survive because we adapt, and we will show the galaxy that humans do not give up." The battle began. Alien ships fired energy beams that could tear through metal. Explosions lit the nebula like artificial suns. Yet humans moved unpredictably, using the nebula itself as cover, creating false trails, and striking from unexpected angles. When the alien commanders thought they had humans trapped, the Endurance and its fleet appeared behind them, disabling engines, intercepting weapons, and rescuing trapped allies. The alien forces were stunned. How are they?" one officer asked. "They fight like nothing we've seen before," another replied. "They do not follow logic. They adapt. They overcome." The battle ended with humans victorious not by overwhelming force, but through intelligence, coordination, and moral courage. The galaxy began to take notice. After the battle, Captain Cross addressed the rescued alien leaders. "The galaxy is no longer a place of endless war. It can be a place of cooperation, survival, and growth. You saw what we can do. We do not seek to conquer, but to protect. Join us, and together we will restore what has been lost." Slowly, hesitance turned into trust. Small alliances formed. Humans trained allied forces, shared technology, and helped rebuild shattered worlds. Alien civilizations began to see humans not as weak, but as a force of stability and hope. On Earth, Dr. Morales watched the reports from the bridge of the Endurance and smiled. Humans were underestimated. That is their greatest advantage. They think differently, act differently, and refuse to be limited. The galaxy will never be the same. Captain Cross, looking out at the stars, understood this too. "We are just beginning. The galaxy is wounded, but it is not lost, and we will be the ones to guide it not through fear, not through force, but through courage, intelligence, and unity." Part 2 closed with the humans' reputation firmly established. The once broken galaxy began to rally around them. Even alien empires that had fought for centuries recognized that the humans were unlike any species they had encountered, and somewhere in the shadows, the most dangerous threats of the galaxy began to stir, watching the humans carefully. For now, humans were a symbol of hope, but soon, the galaxy would test them like never before. Where once there was chaos, there was now cautious order. Alien fleets had regrouped, planets were being rebuilt, and survivors slowly reclaimed their homes. At the center of this transformation stood humanity, a species once considered weak, now seen as clever, brave, and dependable. Captain Aiden Cross watched from the bridge of the Endurance as reports came in from multiple star systems. Humans had stabilized hundreds of planets, rescued thousands of alien refugees, and prevented conflicts from reigniting. Yet, despite these victories, a new and unseen threat was growing in the darkness. Far beyond the known galaxy, in a sector untouched by recent wars, a massive energy field stirred. Ancient, immense, and silent for eons, it began to awaken. It was not a fleet, nor a civilization, but a force built by a race that had vanished long before the rise of the current empires. The entity was powerful beyond imagination, a guardian of balance, now disturbed by the chaos of the galaxy. On a distant observation post, an alien scientist monitoring energy fluctuations whispered, "It is alive. Not in the way we understand life, but it perceives everything, all destruction, all battles. It knows." The humans did not yet know of this force. They were too focused on helping, stabilizing, and uniting. But soon, they would face the test that no other species had survived. In the rebuilt system of Valira, Captain Cross convened a meeting with allied alien leaders, representatives from the Drakari Empire, the Sindari survivors, and several smaller factions gathered around the holographic table. Aiden addressed them calmly. "We have done well. Together, we have saved lives, rebuilt worlds, and prevented further destruction. But the galaxy is not yet safe. There are forces we cannot yet see, forces that will judge all that we do." An elder Drakari leader, her armored body scarred from battle, frowned. "You speak of threats unknown. How can we act against something we cannot see?" "By preparing, by learning, by staying united," Aiden replied. "Humans were underestimated before. We thrived because we adapted. Now we must do the same together." The leaders nodded, some reluctantly. Trust had been difficult to earn, but humans had proved themselves through action, not words. Weeks later, the first warning came. In the Orion Rift, where humans had previously fought the scattered fleets, massive energy surges erupted. Entire fleets lost communication. Sensors went dark. Ships drifted, paralyzed. Lieutenant Mira Patel reported, "Captain, it's not any fleet. It's something different. Energy readings are off the charts. It's enormous. It's alive." Aiden's jaw tightened. "Prepare for engagement. We do not yet know what it is, but we will face it. Humans never retreat from the unknown." The Endurance led a coalition of human and allied alien ships into the rift. The nebula's energy streams twisted violently, tearing through space. Waves of light formed shapes, almost conscious, moving toward them. The ancient entity had noticed the galaxy and the humans within it. Alien allies panicked. "We cannot fight this," one commander shouted. "It is too powerful." "Then we will not fight like they do," Aiden said. "We will fight like humans. We adapt. We survive. We overcome." The entity's first strike came as a massive pulse of energy, sweeping through the fleet. Ships shook, shields failed, and alarms blared. Yet the humans did not panic. They used evasive maneuvers, calculated angles, and real-time coordination. The entity's patterns were immense, but predictable if approached logically. Captain Cross activated a new tactic. Deploy drones into the energy streams. Scan, map, and predict its movements. Do not attack. Understand. As the drones moved, humans analyzed the entity's behavior. They discovered that its attacks were not random, they were reactive. The entity responded to aggression and chaos, but ignored organized, clever strategies. "Humans are studying it," an alien officer whispered. "They are not afraid." "Not afraid?" another replied. "They face something that could destroy us all, and they study it?" "Yes," the first officer said. "This is why humans survive." For days, the humans and their allies observed the entity, gradually understanding its logic. They realized it was not evil. It was a guardian, responding to the galaxy's destruction. If it perceived that life would continue to devastate itself, it might act to eliminate or neutralize entire systems. Captain Cross made a bold decision. We will show it, the galaxy can survive. Not by force, but by cooperation. We will demonstrate life's potential to rebuild and protect itself. That is our strategy. NE5, the humans coordinated with alien leaders to stabilize multiple systems at once. They repaired damaged planets, rescued populations, and repaired energy cores. Every action sent a signal of order, intelligence, and unity into space. The entity observed, recalculating. It recognized patterns it had never seen before. Creativity, problem-solving, collaboration. The humans were not dominant in firepower, they were dominant in strategy and intelligence. The entity then attempted a direct strike at the Endurance, generating a vortex of pure energy. The ship rocked violently, systems overloaded. Captain Cross barked commands. Divert all power to shields and thrusters, keep moving, use the environment to your advantage. The crew obeyed, moving through the vortex with precision. They deployed energy reflectors, absorbing parts of the attack and redirecting it harmlessly into space. Small drones worked as decoys, drawing the entity's attention away from the fleet. Unbelievable! Lieutenant Patel gasped. We're surviving. It. Yes, Aiden said, eyes steely. And we will not stop until we understand it. Humanity never gives up. Hours turned into days. The entity continued to test them, striking repeatedly, pushing fleets to the brink. Yet humans never faltered. They learned, adapted, and coordinated on a scale no alien species had ever seen. They used empathy to predict reactions, logic to anticipate attacks, and creativity to find solutions the entity could not expect. Finally, a breakthrough came. Drones detected a central energy nexus within the entity, a point of perception and reaction. The humans realized that it was not invincible. It could be communicated with, guided, understood. Captain Cross made the ultimate decision. We will show it proof of life's resilience. Focus all energy into building, not fighting. Let it see that the galaxy can heal itself. Using massive energy shields and controlled emissions, the humans and their allies stabilized nearby systems, repairing damaged planets, and protecting populations in real time. The entity paused, observing the coordinated effort. It began to retract attacks, measuring the changes. For the first time in millennia, the ancient guardian seemed satisfied. It withdrew into the depths of the nebula, leaving the humans and their allies unharmed. The galaxy celebrated. Ships cheered, planets lit with restored energy, and alien leaders finally saw humans not as small, weak creatures, but as saviors and leaders. Aiden Cross addressed a gathering of allied species. We faced what no one else could face. Not by force alone, but by intelligence, cooperation, and courage. Humanity was underestimated before. Now the galaxy knows strength is not just in power. It is in unity, creativity, and resolve. The elder Drakari leader bowed deeply. We have fought for centuries, yet only humans have taught us what it truly means to survive and protect life. You are remarkable. Captain Cross smiled humbly. We are all remarkable when we act together. Humans are part of the galaxy, but the galaxy belongs to all of us. Months later, as the new Galactic Council formed, humans were placed at the center, not as rulers, but as advisors and mediators. They helped coordinate trade, defense, and exploration, ensuring that no empire could rise to dominate others again. Alien factions began to work together, inspired by the humans' example. On Earth, Dr. Elena Morales gazed at the stars, her heart full of hope. The galaxy is safe for now. Humanity showed what it means to act with intelligence, courage, and morality. We were underestimated, and that was our greatest strength. Captain Cross looked at his crew aboard the Endurance. We have done well, but our journey is only beginning. There are still mysteries to uncover, planets to save, and species to protect. Humanity will lead not through fear, but through wisdom, courage, and unity. And as humans looked toward the stars, the galaxy no longer feared them. Instead, it respected them. admired them, and most importantly, trusted them. The small blue planet that once seemed insignificant had become a beacon of hope, the force that healed a fractured galaxy. The galaxy had been crushed, civilizations had fallen, but humans had arrived, and now, the galaxy would never be the same again.